Alright everyone, GreymanX6 here again, and it's time to film the November 2024 pickups, and just about all of these were splurges. Things that I picked up just because I noticed that they were a good price, I got a good offer on eBay, or there was a sale going on a store I knew, or what have you. And first thing you might notice is, got something quite unusual here. A McFarlane DC figure, which I usually don't get. But sometimes, even a line I don't get because it's like not the right scale or whatever, there's just one that is just so good. I mean, look at this Sinestro. Look at the face sculpts, the texturing on the uniform, and everything about this, and such sweet packaging with the gold, the silver foil stuff. Oh man, this thing is great. Unfortunately, I gotta open them. So, let's do it. Oh ho ho, look at this baby. I've said it before and I've said it again. If McFarlane had only stuck with the 6-inch scale like the Mattel DC figures, there's so many I would have just jumped on, and this is definitely an improvement over the old Mattel Sinestro. In fact, I've got that right here in comparison. I mean, I remember seeing this on the shelves and grabbing it right away. I was happy with it at the time. A little dusty, it's been on the shelf a long time, but just look at this thing. For one thing, you got the parallax symbol sculpted right in. I don't think it's going to focus and show you. Well, of course it won't. Why would it? And you actually have the parallax symbol sculpted onto his chest, and I've already mentioned the texturing. And, of course, this one has double jointed elbows and knees, unlike that one, and the face sculpt, oh man, immaculate. It's like right out of the comics. Of course, you got butterfly-ish joints with a weird rotator cuff. Doesn't exactly work the same way, but yeah, they're more wobbly than I recall other DC Multiverse ones from McFarlane, because I've only bought a few other ones that I can fudge into my collection, namely Martian Manhunter, Gorilla Grodd, and Swamp Thing. This one I can't do that with, but he's just so cool on his own. So not all the other McFarlane intricacies, it's like you can arch back pretty far, but with their system you can't really arch forward much, which is a shame. That's one thing that the Mattel version beats him out on with the ab crunch. And like most McFarlane figures, we don't have a thigh cut. We do have a twist in the hips. But does he? And he doesn't have a boot cut. Does Sinestro on this one have a boot cut? No, he just has the thigh cut. But we got toe articulation, which I don't think Mattel ever bothered with. We got the ankle balls, side to side, rock around, and we got balls in the wrist too. That's much more useful than the just hinging up and down and twisting side to side that we get with Marvel Legends wrists. But yeah, this is just cool. This is just so fun to handle. This is just remarkable work from McFarlane. A lot of other people who do collect the McFarlane DC figures have a lot of criticisms, but this one, I'll say it again, is just immaculate. But again, I cannot fudge him into my collection like the other three I've mentioned, Grodd, Swamp Thing, and Martian Manhunter. Even though he's canonically taller than Hal Jordan and the other Human Laners, he's 6'7". Figures usually don't reflect that. Also, oh yeah, he's got bicep swivel and everything. And I didn't even have to heat him up or anything. This is just amazing. And I just wish, McFarlane, please, get to making a Megafig of the Parallax entity. You teased me with the other Sinestro figure with him being a dinky little accessory. No, I need the entity of Fear in my collection. I've been waiting so long. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, what possible justification did I really have for buying this figure if I don't collect DC in the 7-inch scale and I can't fudge him into the collection? Here's why. if I couldn't make use of the figure itself on my shelf, I wanted the accessories, his yellow fear construct, you know, like Dr. Octopus tentacles just shooting out, and this yellow lantern that actually has the handle shaped like the parallax symbol. As you can see, the one I got with this Sinestro figure is just a recolor of the Green Lantern one, and that would not do. That's a cheap way out. Not to mention this one's semi-transparent, so the look is great, and Sinestro will actually hold on to this one. It's like you just breathe on him, and they drop this yellow lantern. So yeah, this is gonna look cool. I can't make use of the figure on the shelf. I'm gonna make damn sure to use the accessories. Now, what else did I grab figure-wise? Well, since we're still talking about Green Lantern, look at this. Remember how last month I talked about how I was gonna collect certain live-action versions of DC characters? I got this really meh version of Grant Gustin's Flash. Well, I figured, well, go for Green Lantern next, since, believe it or not, I actually liked the 2011 movie, but, I forgot how bad these figures are. The ones that came out in 2011 to promote the movie. I mean, just look at this mess. Not only do you have the... Oh, wow! I rest my case. God damn, these things are terrible. I'm gonna have to glue that back together. Ugh. Not to mention it was too small anyway. I can salvage that. I mean, look at that. Kid Omega is one of the smaller Marvel Legends, and it doesn't. And the head's too big, and ugh. Wow. Anyway, moving on to Kid Omega. Okay, he's one of the newer characters in X-Men. I'm not sure when he debuted. I think it was in the late 2000s. But he's been a prominent character lately. He was in the Krakoa era's X-Force, and now he's on Cyclops and Magneto's X-Men team. He was always some, like, cocky asshole who kind of went his own way and just did whatever he wanted, but it seems to be going through some character development now after what happened in his time in the last X-Force, and now he's on Cyclops and Magneto's team. It's like he just seems more laid back. Not really willing to mess with people anymore. He's just going through some stuff. So is that... I don't know that much about the character, but it seems he's moving in the right direction. Like some character development, but when I got this one, I knew it was a basic Axe figure, so that's why I only snagged him when I got a good offer. I figured it was just going to be just another reuse of an old buck, but when I got him, I was surprised. Wait, we got a diaphragm and a reverse ab crunch? Then I looked at his arms, and I noticed, see that little divot there? That's for like the webbing on Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man. So I did not expect them to reuse that buck. But hey, if you can get over him having those stupid divots on his triceps or whatever, it works. And just got the standard Marvel Legends articulation. He's got a hinge disc, so he's got better head movement. Glasses are a bit wibbly wobbly though, but then again, they're not supposed to be real glasses. They're supposed to be constructs he makes with his psychic power. Die cut, pinless, double-jointed elbows and knees. Nice. Everything's good. Then again, this has been through its paces. This is used, so it's not like I would have had to heat it up. And let's take a quick look at his accessories. Alright. We got alternate right fist, and an alternate... No, this was his left fist, and an alternate right accessory holding hand. And he just comes with this one thing, like a psychic construct gun. Can I get it in his hand? Even the G.I. Joes were... get their hands, and he doesn't even have trigger fingers. Not to mention, from what I know of Quentin Quire in the comics, he can make all sorts of cool shit, like psychic energy construct chainsaws and shit. This feels like kind of like doing the bare minimum, but whatever. I did get them used for a good offer, so I can't complain too much. It's gonna stand. Alright, now for the... These guys aren't gonna stand. What? Bye-bye, Sinestro. Bye-bye, Sinestros. And this is the last thing I got. Alright, this is the Indoraptor from Jurassic Park 5, or Fallen Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. You know, I didn't like it at first. I remember not really being taken in by it when I first saw it in theaters, but when I rewatched it in preparation for Dominion, I began to appreciate it, and I started thinking, the Indoraptor, yeah, he's kind of an underrated movie monster, and this figure, he scales very well. Yeah, pretty much the same scaling as he was in the movie in comparison to Green Lantern there. Let's see, he's got an articulated jaw. His arms kind of move, but when you do, he just turns and it makes a sound effect and his eyes light up. Or should I say her eyes? Or was he a he? I honestly don't remember. Anyway, he can move his legs back and forth and some movement in the tail. But the problem is, if I'm going to display the Indoraptor on my shelf, I'm going to have to find a way to remove the tail so I can shove him all the way back against the back of the shelf, like I did with Godzilla. Because he just takes up way too much space, but I want him because, yeah, thinking back, he is a memorable movie monster. Yet, strangely, I am not all that hyped for this next Jurassic Park movie. It's called Rebirth or whatever. Because I thought Dominion, I like that too. There's no denying that the original is still the best, and of all the sequels, Jurassic World is the one that nailed it best, but I like how Dominion did things differently, how it dared to take it in a direction you didn't expect, and damn it, I thought it was a great way to bring everything full circle with the old cast meeting the new, but whatever, we'll see what they got for us. Anyway, Indoraptor there. Okay, Hal, Sinestro, get back up there. Alright, my sole video game pickups for this month. We got Twisted Metal 2 and 3. I already had 1 and 4, but I played this, I rented this, and back in the day, and had an absolute blast. And I had one of the levels in one of those demo discs, and oh, I played that demo level over and over, just tearing shit up. A lot of fun. Unfortunately, the disc on this one probably could use some work. This one was perfect, though, the disc. What's considered the worst of the PlayStation Twisted Metal games, though, that's the one I have that's just pristine, though. I remember when this came out, it was criticized that it went to a different developer. The levels weren't as intricate and fun to navigate, and there was a weird physics engine that made cars wobble and flip over too easily. Well, what can you do? I'll give it a shot. Especially, I mean, 989 Studios later did this one, and I remember having a lot of fun with that one, and oh yeah, I've got the original right here, so here we are, the entire PS1 quadrilogy. So that's why when I finally picked up Twisted Metal 2, might as well get 3. And lastly, a bunch of... Stay back there. Come on! Really? Really? I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, splurges for physical copies of movies. We just had Alien Romulus, and it was a masterpiece, but I was thinking, I got the digital versions of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, their special editions, and, well, I liked all the extra stuff in Alien Resurrection except the blah ending. I liked the more hopeful one in the theatrical release, and then in Alien 3, the xenomorph comes out of a cow instead of a dog, and it doesn't actually show the queen bursting from Ripley's chest as he's about to fall into the molten steel. Blech. So, yeah, I decided to splurge and finally get physical copies of these. And these two. I found in a Goodwill, so why the hell not? And this last one, normally I wouldn't have bothered with this, but my mother's been saying, oh, this is a classic, you need to check it out, so I saw it at the same place. I got the Alien movie, second trial, so why not? Yeah, that pretty much describes this whole month. Why not? Why not finally get this offbeat, interesting, monstrous dinosaur from the Jurassic Park franchise? Why not get the rest of the Twisted Metal games for PS1? Why not get this sweet 7-inch scale Sinestro, even though he doesn't really go with anything I got? And why not get this X-Man who's still hanging around? Why not? Why not indeed?